Welcome in. Episode 5 of Beantown Breakdown, presented by Boston Sports Syndicate. First show of the new year, though, 2022. We're starting it off right January 2nd today, and as always, I am joined by Andrew Parker. Andrew, how are we doing? We got show number 1 of the new year here, so hopefully we can start this off on the right foot.
Yeah, no, big day too.
Yeah.
These days don't happen very often, actually. So all 3 teams in Boston are playing today.
This is huge. So I figured I shot you the text last night. I was like, we got to record today. We got to get something out.
This doesn't happen all the time. I mean,
No.
it's I think the only month it can happen is that all 4 teams can play is what, October?
Yeah, and that's if you're lucky too.
Yeah, that's if the Red Sox are like in the World Series, the Celtics are just starting, so are the Bruins, and then the Patriots obviously are in like week 1 or 2. So this is cool. I know obviously the Red Sox aren't playing, but getting to watch 3 of the teams today, it's kind of cool.
We'll try and keep the episode relatively short because we're recording this in the morning, obviously, so we're trying to hit you guys with some game previews today, and we'll go over some game recaps, and of course we've got some culture stuff at the end. We'll start it off with your Bruins, because I know you've been anxious about this for, a couple weeks now. You want to talk about this for a while. Bruins finally get back in action. They started off, relatively nicely, I guess you want to say, with a nice comeback win. But as you were telling me yesterday, this is kind of a situation where you feel a little bit bittersweet about, because it's a game that they shouldn't have been trailing in anyway.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's nice to see them actually play a hockey game for once, so I can't really complain in that regard. But at the same time, it's glass half full type of thing where it's like, yeah, they haven't played in 3 weeks, and it's nice to actually get the win. And like, they looked a little rusty at first, but this is a problem that's been going on with them since even before the whole lockdown and everything around Christmas time. It's they can't score. They got a scoring problem, and it's pretty evident with the game yesterday. In the first couple periods, they were down 3-1 going into the third. It's like, you don't want to be down 3-1 going into the third against teams that are better than the Buffalo Sabres. The Sabres are in the bottom third of the league. If you do that against Tampa, Florida, Toronto, any of those teams in your division, you're screwed.
Yeah. I mean, yesterday, do you think it was more so their scoring inability issues that they've been having, or do you think it was just kind of shaking the rust off and kind of the break they had? Well, I mean, what do you think contributed more to the hole they found themselves in?
Yeah, I mean, they have they have a depth issue. Like, they have a big depth issue, and it's not going to fix itself. I think they've already played, a handful of games this year. And like I said, even before the lockdown, before, they had the 3-week break, it was still a problem in the early part of the season. And I really don't think they did anything to address it in the offseason. So they got worse in the offseason, obviously, with Krejci and Rask leaving. But I don't know. Like, I think they have like a problem, and I think they need to go out and get a center at the deadline or before then. And their lines just like, I don't know. There's just nothing to the lines after the first line. They finally made a switch last night, but holy cow. Like, they have a big scoring problem, and it's not going to fix itself.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, like, I feel like in some aspects, we're kind of seeing this Bruins team in a similar spot as like the Celtics have been, in terms of just never being able to kind of get the job done. I mean, this team has a ton of talent, but obviously the goal is a cup, and they flirt with it, and you think they're about to get one, and then they can't finish. So, like, is this a matter of this team just needs one more piece, or is it a couple more pieces that this team is missing?
Yeah, I think it's I think you almost nailed it on the head. It's like very similar. I think the Celtics and the Bruins are kind of like close to in the same spot. They're both like very average. I think the Bruins are going to float around 500 this year, just like the Celtics are. So it's like, it drives you crazy because you're just like, okay, like, we can go out and beat Tampa, Florida. Like, the Celtics can go out and beat Phoenix, right? And it's like, But then they're going to lay an egg against a team like the Timberwolves, like they did, or they're going to lay egg against the Red Wings, like the Bruins did a couple weeks ago. It's just like, what's going on? Like, I don't know. I think they need to go out and try to get a forward this year, because I think you got to look at your star players, and two of your three star players, Patrice Bergeron, Brad Marchand, are both getting to the upper 30s.
Yeah.
I think Marchand's 34 this year and Bergeron's 37, 38. He's getting older. He's not getting any younger. You got to kind of like build around these guys now while you have them. And it's just like, look, David Krejci left last year and he was getting older. So it's like, you got to either win now for Bergeron, or what are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, I was just going to say, those guys are getting older. What you probably have. How many years left at best? Like,
I mean, you got probably with Bergeron being at like playing at elite level, you probably only have like 2 years, 2 to 3 more of him being like really like his producing ability. Marchand, you got probably a few more than that, but I don't know. I think they're going to be in big trouble if they don't find a center. They don't draft. So they've been terrible at drafting. Like they are brutal at drafting. They can't develop any of their own other than Pasternak. Like the last time they've developed somebody, one of their high draft picks, it's been a while.
I mean, they're in an interesting spot. Celtics are in an interesting spot today. They play at 1. I know, you mentioned to me it sucks, overlaps with the Pats. Gonna have to put one game on the TV, stream one game. The modern day problems of 2022. I almost said 2021, but 2022 now. As I said, Detroit today, 1 p.m. game. Yeah, how you feeling about this one? Detroit, kind of a 500 team as well. Should be a decent matchup, I think. Let's. I'm gonna hit you with a score prediction here.
Oh,
I mean, I know it's tough with
that's
hockey,
interesting.
but
Yeah,
let's hear a score prediction.
Hockey's tough.
I got Bruins 3-1. That's my prediction today. That's what I'm going with. Feel decent about the game yesterday. I think a comeback like that, I don't care who it's against. I think it gives you momentum. I know it's a back-to-back, but I think they ride that momentum a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair. I Swayman is starting in net, so it makes me a little more excited. But again, it's like I don't even know. Like it's just I don't know. I would probably say like 2-1. Hopefully the Bruins win. It's just so hard because they can't score goals. Like they can never score. They actually have scored the third fewest goals in the entire league this year. So that's
bad statistic to have on your side.
Pretty insane. Literally only the Islanders and the Canadiens have less goals than they do. And those two teams are dumpster fires this year. So yeah, I don't know. Like I heard Brick, I heard Brick and Jack yesterday talking about, every single time a team scores against them, it seems like a death blow because it's like, who knows if we're going to be able to score? Like it's,
yeah.
So I don't know. I would say like 2-1. Hopefully they can hold the Wings. The Wings aren't that good. They're pretty average as well. So we should beat them.
Both got the Bruins winning today. We'll see what happens. Another team in action at 1 p.m. as well. The New England Patriots coming off that loss to Buffalo this past Sunday, right after Christmas. Hopefully they can, do us a service today and not spoil another holiday. New Year's yesterday, and now they're gonna see if they can soil, another holiday because they kind of spoiled Christmas. I'm not gonna lie, they kind of ruined.
Tough.
They kind of ruined everyone's holiday in New England. But they have a chance to redeem themselves, and that's the good part about it. And they should against an awful Jacksonville team. Rookie matchup here. Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones. Mac Jones has been better than Lawrence all year. You expect that to happen today, but as we mentioned back in episode 4, Mac Jones has had some struggles. People are getting nervous about him. I know you and I are nervous about him. But today I am expecting a blowout, and I think today is what you have to do is you have to let Mac Jones throw the ball. You have to let him do that because this is a Jacksonville team we know is not good on either side of the ball, offense or defense. If you want to throw special teams in there, sure. I don't know anything about their special teams group, but I'm sure that's not good either. But offensively, defensively, not a good Jacksonville team. This
They're
is a
not good in
chance.
any aspect.
No, they're not. They haven't been since. I think they were what, AFC Championship against the Pats. How many
That
years ago was that now?
Blake Bortles year, I was in college, and that was
Yeah.
a long time ago.
Yeah, that was a while ago now. So they have not been good since then. And I don't know how they were good with Blake Bortles, but they were good. They were decent. That defense was strong back in the day, but now it's not. I think what you got to do today, let Mac Jones throw, get some confidence back. I think this is a game where he can easily throw for, at least 250 yards. I'm thinking it could even be a 300-yard game for Mac Jones.
I think you're along the right lines. The Jaguars are the definition. I used dumpster fire earlier. They are the definition of dumpster fire, and they're slotted for the number 1 pick again. You have to think that I don't want to say that a team's going to tank, but they got to be in a close to a spot that they might be tanking.
Hey man, they need a new QB in there. I'm telling you, man. You gotta
No.
draft that. Gotta draft that franchise QB coming up this year, man.
Okay. Yeah, no, they but I mean, realistically though, they just fired their coach. They're probably going to be looking for a coach in the offseason. So they're going to bring in a new face. And what better to bring in a new face saying you can entice somebody saying, hey, look, we have the number 1 pick. You can go out and get whoever you would like to get. Obviously not a QB, but you can go out and get anybody you want at number 1. So it's like, how enticing is that for a head coach? So I think they're not going to lose on purpose, but you get what I mean. It's kind of like hey guys, like we kind of stink this year. Let's just go for next year. Plus they have like 10 players out with COVID, I think. I saw. So by the way, Patriots got all their guys back. So I know Judon, Bentley, King, they're all back. So
it kind of stinks too. I hate playing teams like this towards the end of the year.
Could be a trap game.
That's what I'm saying. 1, it could be a trap game. 2, you could kind of lower your level of competition. And I know the Patriots aren't a team to do that. I know Bill Belichick is not a coach to allow that to happen, but sometimes you really can't help it. You're playing the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, let's not forget though, our friends in Buffalo lost to these guys.
They did. So it's like, but it's Jacksonville. I mean, come on now.
I mean, Josh Allen and the Bills only put up 6 points on this team. I mean, that's tough.
Man, the Bills stink, man. No, I'm kidding. The Bills are obviously very good. I think the Bills are like kind of peaking at the right time now. Patriots, questionable. Patriots are questionable. They're kind of up in the air. But like, I'd kind of like a game today that's, I don't know if a point to kind of prove your worth, but a game that serves as kind of like emphasis of, okay, is this team good? Is this team not good? I have no idea. You win over Jacksonville. I have no idea if you're good. I have no idea if you're ready for the playoffs. I really don't. You lose to Jacksonville. I clearly know you're not ready for the playoffs. It's kind of a lose-lose situation. This game really, it's a must-win. There's no doubt about that. But if they do win, I don't think it tells you much. I think Miami going to be a little bit of a test next week, but this Jacksonville game must win. That doesn't tell you much, which is a really weird game.
Yeah, there's actually a little on the line today. So the Patriots can clinch a playoff spot if they beat Jacksonville, and they need a loss from the Colts against the Raiders, which is possible. I think the Raiders are, a hit or miss, but if Derek Carr is having a good game, that's definitely possible. And then the other game would be the Dolphins losing to the Titans, and that's also very doable. Like, I think the Titans are actually going to win that game anyway. So they're getting healthier again. They got, AJ Brown back. They got Julio back. They're getting Derrick Henry back too, which is insane that he's back. He's coming back. He's not going to play today, I don't think, but they said he wasn't limping around this week at practice. And I'm like, that is insane.
That dude is superhuman.
He literally
legitimately.
I love that meme of him, by the way, in college with Mark Ingram, like in the street clothes standing next to him.
God.
And Mark Ingram looks like a toddler.
Like a child.
That's one of my favorites. But I honestly think, I think the Titans will beat the Dolphins this week, which is going to be huge for us, first of all. And then I think the Raiders will give the Colts a great game. I think the Colts have been very hot. I think they peaked a little early though, and I think the Raiders are a decent football team. I know that they weren't this earlier this year, but they're around 500 right now. But yeah, we can clinch though if those scenarios happen.
I mean, that's the ideal situation right there. But yeah, I mean, score prediction today. I got Pats. I got Pats. See, I never know with the McDaniel's offensive scheme here. I really don't.
It's so tough, right?
I'm gonna say Pats 27-10. You know,
Yeah, you're right. It's so tough. Like you don't know if
I don't know if he's gonna let Mac Jones uncork. I don't know
yeah.
if
Are we
Brandon
just gonna
Bolden
run the
is gonna
ball
run
like
the ball
87
30
times?
times.
Like
Yeah, like I really
yeah,
don't know.
I don't know. It's tough. I'm gonna go. I'd probably go like 28-10. I think the Pats D is gonna be too good for.
What the hell is this? You're gonna take Pats 28. What are you gonna do? What is this? Price is Right. You're gonna do 1 point above me,
Yes,
just so it
that's
screws me.
exactly what I did.
Excellent. So great. Now the score is gonna be like 31-10, and you're gonna be closer. So this is fantastic. I'm gonna lose all
Exactly.
credibility. Wonderful. All right.
It's a win-win.
My goodness. Pats Jags today, 1 p.m. Should be a win. If it's not, things are very bad.
Things are bad. Burn it all
Very bad
down.
in New
All
England.
right.
Another team today going. The third and final one. Celtics tonight, 6:30, 6. I think it's 6. Orlando. I'm gonna get a double check on that. Double check that real 6 o'clock. Celtics Magic. Celtics breaking your heart 3 times in a row against Milwaukee, Minnesota, and the Clippers before they come out and they beat pretty much the best team in the league. The Suns were 27-7 when the Celtics topped them the other day. Made no sense. 0 sense. You had Josh Richardson playing at a high caliber level. He looked unbelievably good. You had Jaylen Brown, doing well. Marcus Smart was back. He was great. No Jason Tatum. You beat the Phoenix Suns with no Jason Tatum somehow. And you can't forget to mention Rob Williams. Posted a triple-double. He also had 5 blocks. First player in Celtics history to do that, which is absurd. I don't know what to make of this team, Andrew. It's just a roller coaster team right now. I expect them fully to get absolutely drop kicked by the Orlando Magic today because that would just be what the Celtics are accustomed to doing. I know we mentioned in episode 4 how beating Phoenix and losing to the Magic would be like ideal Celtics basketball, and they have a chance to do it today. They have a chance to do it today. I'm almost rooting for it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm almost rooting for it. Like a part of me is.
Yeah, it's a little scary. Like I did not realize that the Magic were all it's going to be a definition again. Dumpster fire.
Yeah.
It's they are terrible.
And they're so banged up too. I mean, any piece they have is pretty much out on COVID.
I couldn't believe there was a team worse than the Magic this year. Like I couldn't believe that the Pistons actually were.
Detroit's awful. Detroit's awful. I think Detroit has lost 18 of its last 20. And they're also like 2-15 on the road this year. They play on the road in Milwaukee tomorrow. The only reason I know is because I had to do a preview last night for the Bucks Pistons game, and I was just looking into like some of the Pistons stuff. It's horrific. I mean, just terrible.
My gosh, it's like the Magic are bad. I mean, you do not. You don't want to lose this game. Like it's that would be a blow. I know the Timberwolves game was bad. I know the Timberwolves, but they're around the same record that the Celtics are. So it's like
full health.
I don't know.
I mean, they're fine. Full health they have.
Yeah, we did lose to their G League team, so that does suck. But I mean, it's the Magic, man. Like they need to come out and they need to absolutely just play their game, play how they did against the Suns. I don't know. Like it's like one of those things. Like I told you yesterday, it was just like the Bruins were down to the Sabres. It's like, how are we in the spot? It's like you don't want to see the Celtics down 20 to the Magic. It's like, what is going on?
The thing is, like, you look at the Phoenix game, right? And I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Well, first of all, they're up by like 30, and it seemed like for a little bit, it looked like they were going to blow that lead. And I was like, this is not happening. I mean, this will be the death of me if the Celtics just blow a 30-point lead. Luckily, they didn't, but it shows you that Celtics teams literally need to be up by like 30 points in order for you to feel comfortable, which is concerning. But yeah, today against the Magic, you think, okay, you have to win this game because the Phoenix game, I don't know, maybe it could be a nice, maybe it could be a nice win to turn the season around. It's certainly the type of win that would do that, but I'm not confident enough in the Celtics team for it to happen. If you're the Celtics, you need to rattle off like 5 straight wins or something, in my opinion. You need to go on a little winning streak here. You need to go on a streak where you win like 10 of 12, like 10 of 14, somewhere in that area. I mean, you need to go on a nice run. There's no better chance to do it. If you can't go on a run after having a statement game like that Phoenix game, you officially suck. Like, I'm still giving the Celtics a chance here, but if you can't use the momentum here, you're done. You're done.
Yeah, I think you're right. They need to like take that game against Phoenix and literally be like, okay, that was a game that nobody really had us winning anyway. Like we kind of like drew that up as an L on the schedule. The Suns are very good.
Mhm.
So, and you're without Tatum, like you said. So it's like you beat them without your star. And they need to circle that game and just run with it now. They have a good stretch coming up on their schedule to do that too. Like they have teams that aren't great coming up, and it's a good chance to like really like put the pedal to the metal here. It's like you got Magic, Spurs, Knicks twice, Pacers twice. It's like those are games they all winnable.
Yeah. And now that you've beaten Phoenix, I mean, technically any game is quote unquote winnable. It's just a matter of can you execute now. But I think Udoka's gotta, rerun that tape over and over, that Phoenix game. That's what that team can do. And that was without Jason Tatum, too. So you add Jason Tatum to that mix, and the team can be good. I know Phoenix was without Ayton, hence why Rob Williams probably had the game of his life. But Rob Williams can ball. I mean, the dude's good. We saw that.
Big Rob Williams guy.
I'm a huge Rob Williams guy. We saw it in the playoffs of the bubble. He was unbelievable. He's efficient, great defensively when he's on his game. So I'd like to see more Rob Williams in there. Udoka often runs with the bigs a lot, like a lineup of Williams, Horford is in there, and then Grant Williams. But I don't really like that all that much. I like, have more wing play like Brad did. I know it didn't always work, but have more wing play, and then kind of center the action down low around Rob Williams more. Al Horford has been good for the most part this season. Hasn't been shooting the ball all that well from 3 recently. So he's kind of got to rely more on the paint. But Rob Williams is a force to be reckoned with in the paint when you get him going. So I'd like to see that more. I think that's kind of the key to success, to have some more success down the stretch here. So we'll see what happens with the Celtics. Hopefully should be a win over the Magic today. As I said, pretty short episode today, just so we can get it out for you guys before these games hit. And hopefully it is out. You will know if it's out before these games because you'll be listening to it. So the last thing on our agenda today, a little bit of a culture piece. I know this has been sports heavy this episode, sports heavy last episode too, but with New Year's, every year they kind of announce the New Year's baby. I saw WCVB Channel 5 posted. A couple parents here had a girl, Aria Grace, 5 minutes after midnight at Brigham and Women's. So she was the first baby born at a Boston hospital in the new year. I mean, the things I would do to be like the first Boston baby born in a certain year, like I don't care what year it is. Like that's a resume piece right there, Andrew.
It really is. I would put that like in my Twitter bio. I would put it anywhere. Like,
dude, I mean, you cannot get more Massachusetts than that. We need to have her on the show in like 20 years. If we're still running it.
We'll be old men then, but yeah, I think definitely. I hope she puts that literally everywhere. I hope she puts it on her resume for a job. I hope I don't know. I hope that's her pickup line. Like I hope an icebreaker is something like, I don't know. Like I feel like people have some pretty cringy ones today, but I feel like, hey, that's a good conversation piece.
It's a great one. I feel like you just need to stick with that everywhere you go, as you mentioned. Like I would be telling everybody. I don't even care. Like I wouldn't even have to know them. I'd just be going up to them and be like, hey, I was born in '99, so I'd be like, hey, '99, yeah, first baby born in Boston. I mean, there should be like some type of like reunion every year for the first babies born in Boston. I feel like kind of get that going.
That is pretty impressive.
I'd be pumped about that. I'd be pumped if I was a parent too. I mean, that's like you really can't get better than that. I know I'm never gonna do anything that impressive if I ever have kids. Like I will never have like the first kid.
I mean,
of
holy
anything.
cow, they like were everywhere. Like I'm looking now. This first baby born was on Boston 25 News, Boston Globe, CBS Boston. Like that baby's everywhere right now. That's
It's a big
that's
deal, man.
impressive. That's
It's a big
impressive.
deal. It's a big deal, man. I like. Yeah, at first I read it, I was like, who cares? That was my kind of first initial thought. But then I was like, hold on, that's impressive.
Do
I
you
mean,
know how
that's
hard it is for like a guy like me or you or like an average person to like make the CBS Boston, Boston Globe, or in Boston 25 News like an article in every single one of those? Like
it's impossible.
it's tough for
I
a
mean,
average Joe.
Beantown Breakdown has yet to be hitting those headlines. We might now though, because we mentioned the baby. Like you'll see today or tomorrow rather, front page Boston Globe, like Beantown Breakdown breaks down New Year's baby. Talking front page. I mean, we should be. I don't see why we wouldn't. I can't think of any reasons why we wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't know, but I definitely have a final thought or
Now,
two
I was just
whenever
gonna
we're
say
done.
we gotta hit you with the final thoughts. I mean, that's your segment now. You got it at the end. So let's hear them.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta make
Well,
like a graphic for these. I'll
yeah,
figure it
I
out.
mean,
I'll
final
figure it out.
thoughts today. I don't really we kind of hit on a lot of stuff because we previewed all the games today, but just overall, I'd say I have two uh I have two final thoughts. One is actually really exciting. And have you been keeping track of the Baseball Hall of Fame ballots coming in?
I have.
David Ortiz has 81.8% of the public ballots so far. There's 121 that have been revealed, which is like 31% of the ballots. So still a long way to go. But he's got 81.8% of those votes, and he is number one right now of all vote getters. It's his first year on the ballot. Very exciting. Love to see David Ortiz get in on his first try. I didn't expect him to. I totally thought.
He's got to be first try. Got to be. I mean, come on.
I think so too, but I know the whole country though doesn't think the way we do just because we're Red Sox fans. It's they got there's just stuff on him out there. Is he linked to PEDs? Is he not? Blah blah blah. He's a DH, not a position player. All that stuff might have hurt him, but so far it doesn't look like it's hurting him. So that's exciting. I would love to see David Ortiz get in the Hall of Fame this year. That would be so cool. And that drive to Cooperstown is going to be packed with people driving from over here. So
yeah,
that it would be really exciting.
Let me just say that drive, man, boring.
Oh, it drives brutal.
Oh my God, boring, man. Upstate New York, scenic, but boring.
But that is the one thing I do want to go to. I want to
You've
go to the
never
Baseball
been.
Hall of Fame. Never been. I went to
Man,
the
you
NBA
gotta
Hall
go.
of Fame out in Springfield. By the way, nothing to do in Springfield.
No, nothing.
Not sure if anybody told me that before I went, but there was zero to do out there. There's a casino and there's the Basketball Hall of Fame, and
That's
that's
all
about
you
it.
need. That's all you need, honestly. I mean,
That
come
is
on.
about it.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Yeah. I mean, other than that, I was gonna use another final thought. I was gonna just say the weather right now in Boston. I think it's like never I think I was reading a stat yesterday on Twitter from a guy. I think he was at WBZ or something. He was on one of the news channels, but he had said that yesterday's weather, it was 55 here in Cambridge. So I don't know what it was out by you. It's probably similar.
That was like 40.
Yeah, it was like
40s.
in the 50s here, and it was insane. And the guy was saying, he's like, this is like one of the warmest it's been on January 1st in like a very, very long time. Said it is never like upper 50s in Boston this time of the year. Said it's insane. So I did pick a good time to settle down here.
Telling you, man, I wore shorts a couple days ago, December 31st. I was wearing shorts. I was that guy. But it was like 40.
It was 55 yesterday here.
I mean, yeah. I mean that's spring weather. Like
that is like April weather.
That is literally April weather, and that's that weather that feels real good after it's been cold for,
Yeah, it felt warm, and right now it says it's 47 where I'm at, so that's still not bad.
Let me hit you with the Worcester temperature here. Pull it up. 45. I mean,
Not
that's like
bad.
that's like 9. I figure you got to double it. Whatever temperature is, you got to double it for like the equivalent in
Oh,
summer.
100%. It's January, so it's like
it's like a summer 90 right now.
Yeah, that's nuts. It's just crazy to me that it's actually warmer here than it is in the Midwest, which usually the Midwest is pretty mild around this time. It's usually 50s. But yeah, it is actually warmer here than a lot of places down south. Well,
I'd say
not like south, but
no, I'd say Midwest is mild, but I can confirm, like right off of Lake Michigan is absolutely terrible this time of year.
Well, yeah, but that's north. I'm talking like Missouri, like that's like more south.
Yeah, that's fair. That's more Midwest. Wisconsin's more northern Midwest, and
How's that Midwest? That's so north.
Wisconsin's considered Midwest.
Wisconsin borders Canada.
Northern Midwest. That's what they say. Listen, man, I don't make the rules. I just kind of go along with what the other people say.
Man, somebody's got to get you a map. Like it's
hey, that's what they tell me. They tell me Wisconsin is the Midwest.
I'll tell you what, Missouri is the South technically, even though it says Midwest. They play in the Southeastern Conference, so I always say it's the South.
Okay, hold the phone. Does the Midwest even exist?
Yes.
Because now I'm skeptical.
Yeah, Illinois and Iowa and all that's Midwest.
All right, fair.
And Indiana, we'll include that.
Ohio? Do you consider Ohio Midwest?
I don't know. It's getting towards the east. They're in the Eastern time zone, is what I'm saying. So, like, I feel like you got to be in the Central time zone.
That's fair.
But it's 8 degrees right now in Columbia, Missouri. Feels like 1 degree. So take that in Missouri, compare it to us being in the mid 40s. It's like, come on, I'll take that all day.
Oh, all day. 24/7, baby.
That's what I got though for final thoughts. There's some weather around the world, I guess, but
I didn't know you were like playing meteorologist all of a sudden here. I'm expecting next time you're gonna pull up like the weather screen. But like, yeah, we got a cold front coming in.
Give a 5-day forecast. Here we go.
Yeah, we got a cold front coming in from the west, and that's gonna hit. So yeah, no, it's good. It's good. We're kind of like getting more inclusive with a full newscast now. So tomorrow or next episode, I expect you to bring some like stock information. Have what we got going on in the stock market.
I'm out on stocks.
Yeah, all right, fair. I won't stick you with that. But your final thoughts are wrapped up. Episode 5 is wrapped up. We told you we'd have a nice quick one for you. About a little half-hour piece here. I think this is right around 35 minutes. So yeah, thanks for joining us. First episode of 2022. We're going to have a lot. I think, what did we say? We're gunning for like 50, 75, somewhere around there for this year.
Yeah, I think you said around 50.
Yeah, so we're going to have a lot for you. A lot of Boston sports coverage, a lot of Boston culture, Massachusetts culture. Probably a lot of weather too if Andrew keeps going on this pace here, which is just good, I guess, if you're a weather freak. I don't know.
I'm only going to say something on the weather if it's warmer than what it usually is, but if it's snowing or cold, I'm out on that.
If it's an anomaly, you're gonna be waking up every morning like, Yes, it's 50. I
Yes.
can talk about it. I can talk about
That's-
it on the show.
That is correct.
All right, excellent. Looking forward to that. But yeah, make sure you go and follow us on all forms of social media: Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I know we kind of reamed TikTok last episode, and we do have a TikTok. So just some cool videos on there, both highlights of our episodes and just some Boston sports edits as well that we'll be cranking out. So feel free to go take a look over there. YouTube as well. Feel free to subscribe so you can get the video versions of the podcast so you can see us talking to you. It's always a little bit better than listening, but if you can only listen, SoundCloud and Spotify are your places to go. Spotify preferably because it's the easiest way, kind of the biggest platform. But we hope you guys enjoy. So go give a follow over there and follow us on SoundCloud as well if you want to use that. But pretty much everywhere. Also check us out on Boston Sports Syndicate so you can read some articles as well over there. A lot of great work from everyone on staff, everyone on the team. But episode 5 in the books. And we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for joining us. Episode 6 right on the horizon. But until then, take care.